Google Hangouts is taking a while to start our lunches now.
Oh, they're trying to fuck with us, man.
Trying to hold us down.
Trying to hold us
Is that what you're
down.
saying? Hey, everybody, lunchtime.
This is an end of an era. This is the last podcast we are going to make ever. No, from this the makeshift studio in Jim's former, soon to be former apartment.
Yeah.
If you're watching the live stream, you can see that especially my bookshelves have been denuded. Matt
Damon,
did
Matt's
the
gone.
tyranny of Damon. It's fucked up the color balance so much that you can really see.
My color, yeah, I'm much darker. Like
But I
I'm
think
more
that's all. I think that's all
saturated.
Damon because we had to compensate for his
Yeah.
giant orange face.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a giant orange face and it's a big white background. You gotta.
Yeah, it just really fades it all out. So we are going to, as soon as we get done recording this, we are going to break down the last connections, pile everything in boxes, and throw them in the U-Haul and move into the new studio set.
As soon as we get done, I'm gonna eat.
Okay,
I'm
I'm with you on that.
Okay.
So the other thing I want to mention is our capability is going to be degraded next week because we do not get internet at studio until Friday. There will be no lunch. There will be no on the rocks. There will be no live watching. There will be the regular product at the scheduled times, and that's about it. Because it's going to take. We
don't have any internet going on,
and we're going to take advantage of that because we're going to do set construction, a whole bunch of stuff that we got to the saw, hammer, and paint. And it's going to take some time, and also we want to.
It's essentially going to look just like this, though. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you shouldn't notice too much of a change.
And I don't know if we talked about this, but we're doing the new set modularly, so there'll be like wall panels that we can just unlock and take with us. So if we move studios again, then the Bald Move Studio, unless we decide to physically paint it or alter it, should be able to. We should be able to take it with us anywhere, which is going to be cool.
Yeah.
I've been graph paper sketching up some stuff on that for this last week. Yeah, but no, it's kind of exciting.
I'm super excited. Both moving personally, I'm fucking stressed out right now. It's been a lot to do with our regularly scheduled broadcast. Plus, the kind of loaded bald movies we've had lately.
Sure. Well, plus
so
I've
just
been
on
a
stressed,
personal
but
note,
I'm
like
excited
you're making lots of big changes because this is a new studio. You're moving in with a new person,
right?
And you are.
My life is changing significantly.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's stressful, but I think it's good for both personal and business. Like I think I'm gonna be a lot.
It's just business.
I think we're gonna be a lot happier in an actual studio space where we don't have like everything contained to this one room because like we have two rooms. One's going to be the studio. The other's going to kind of be live watch station, maybe if we can fit it, and hopefully workstation area to where, you can get out of the studio and sit at an actual terminal and do like workstation type stuff. Because right now, I have to sit like this sideways to do any editing, and it's very awkward. So yeah, and I don't know. It's just going to feel better having a dedicated studio.
It feels like incrementally Bald Move is growing up. Just a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
The other thing is I've got something because my dad's coming over Sunday. Finally, he's recovered enough from his heart surgery that he wants to go sailing with me. So I'm going to take him sailing Sunday. He's staying until like Thursday because I have a surprise extra week with my son next week because my ex-wife has got some emergency she's got to go take care of out of state, and so that was going to really suck because as I mentioned, our new studio is about an hour away from his school, and I was going to have to drive back and pick him up every day. My dad's going to be doing the lion's share of that, but now we have a studio. I'm going to take him out for after hours, and he agreed to do an interview.
Okay.
And I don't know how much of this is going to leak out to Bald Move, but I want to do like a 3-hour the history of my family as he sees it.
All right.
And because I did that with my grandfather like 3 years ago. I sat down after he recovered from a stroke, and I'm like, oh God, he's not going to be around for a while. And I just sat down with a microphone and recorded like the history stories about my great grandfather I'd never heard, and like what it was like to grow up without indoor plumbing, and how he was this close to being drafted in the World War II, and it's like so much crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So
he could have pulled Spider-Man and refused to carry a gun.
God, every time I see that, first of all, Garfield looks like an idiot.
His accent
he's
kills
like
me.
the opiest dumb fuck. Yeah, and plus he's a pacifist in a war zone, not even carrying a gun, and like I don't know. I'm skeptical of the artistic merit and integrity of that movie. We'll see.
I don't know.
Uh,
He's courageous. How about
so
that?
I got a couple topics. I'm sure we got some lunch threads, some bald hashtag bald lunch.
I don't know. I haven't checked.
The big thing, of course, Destiny came out. I don't think anyone really cares to talk about that. It's not already a hardcore Destiny player that knows all about it. But Seth and I discovered Broforce last weekend.
I've heard that's pretty cool.
We got rained in because we had a bunch of outdoor activities, and then we had a lot of storms last weekend. We got rained in, so me, her, and the boy picked up Broforce. It's a hoot, dude. Like, do you know that like it's essentially every 80s and 90s action star has a playable pixelated character with special abilities reflecting like the universal broger can bring in like pixelated enemies back from the dead under his control on the battlefield.
I've still never seen that movie.
Oh shit.
What's Arnold's power?
So Arnold?
Oh, okay.
Because there's the command bro, which is just has a bunch of his main ability is an RPG launcher, which does massive devastation, but also can accidentally kill you. And his superpower is just like a mass volley of RPG shots. And then there's Conan the Brobarian, where he can charge up a sword and do massive like area effect damage. There's Brode, which is a half vampire, half human, a black superhero. It's Wesley Snipes from Blade.
Oh, okay.
And there's Mr. Broderson, which is Neo from The Matrix, and he can project a bullet reversal field around him, and just like he's way faster than the other characters, and he just punch and like he sends guys. But it's like this rogue-like thing where everything that you can see can be destroyed. So you can like take your gun and just tunnel underneath a thing if you want.
Huh.
But also you might have to deal with shit falling on top of you. And like there's all kinds of explosives and radioactive barrels and stuff that like you think the fray's over and shit's still blowing up. I had a ball playing that game. And it's all in this like super hyper masculine Team America World Police deal.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. I just got to like the Cambodian level, which apparently is getting into Aliens versus Predator, because I just unlocked the Brodator, which is the Predator is a playable character. And just when Cecily's like, I love the concept, but I wish, it's too bad that it couldn't get like sisses involved. Ellen Ripbro appeared, and she's the character from Aliens. And then not too long after that, we got the Brode, which is the bride from what's that thing?
Boy.
Kill Bill.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like
Sarah Connor,
and they're just like they're caricatures, like Sigourney Weaver if she was a female bodybuilder. And they never break. Like you can push a button to flex. It has no game effect, but your character just sit and flexes.
It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's so. So if you haven't, it was a free game a long time ago on the PlayStation Network, and I of course add it to my library.
Yeah, same here.
Just picked it up, and it is super fun. It's 4 players. It's insanity. Yeah, it was crazy fun. Do you got anything?
Like that I personally want to talk about?
Whatever. At this point, I just wanted to get done with this
No,
so I can pack and move into the studio.
Yeah, I have not had time to think about any lunch topics. Come on. I've been packing everything I own into tiny little boxes.
See, that itself could be a lunch topic to the
what? Packing shit.
Yeah, like you found some. Didn't you find some stuff that's like, oh Jesus, what's this? Like
I don't have that much stuff.
I can't believe I drugged this from Indiana. Like this is like twice as much crap I had to move as last time.
My couch is kind of like that. No, honestly, I have so little stuff that I pretty much know everything I have, and I'm not surprised by digging up any of it. If I had like a shed or something, or a garage like you've got, yeah, maybe I bought some shit up, man. Like I forget about it.
I've got a lot of worldly possessions. I'm actually looking forward to. I scaled down quite a bit when I moved from the house to the apartment, and I'm probably going to do that again before we move to the next house.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I think scaling down is the way to go.
I do have a recommendation for everyone besides the Broforce. There is a IFC comedy called Documentary Now.
I've seen this. Yeah, this is
you have seen it.
Fred Armisen
and
Bill Hader.
Yeah. Oh my god,
it's fucking hilarious.
There's a couple like The Eyes Don't Lie, which is like a send up of The Thin Blue Line, which is also kind of a send up of Making a Murderer, and The Staircase, where this one innocent guy who's just a complete fucking dick is being framed for a murder.
I
Do
don't
you remember
remember. I
that?
don't
That was
remember
the
that
and
one.
like, oh my
I
god,
binged them all like back to back.
dude, it is so good. It's a slow burn because the
Yeah.
first few I wasn't sure about, but we hit the Canuck the Hunter,
Oh, right. The one
which
where
which
he's making a
starts off which is
documentary,
which
right?
starts off as goofing on how bad like native depictions and pop culture documentaries used to be, and then it
Right.
seamlessly pivots into a scathing send up of Hollywood culture.
And it's got
John Slattery,
John Slattery. Yeah,
yeah,
that's from
Roger
Mad
from
Men.
Mad Men.
Yeah, that one's really good. Um,
Why
I
didn't you
really
tell
like the
me
horror
about
one.
that? I'm pissed. I'm retro. Like you watched something good and didn't tell me about it. You
Yeah,
fucker.
sorry. I don't know.
So season 2 just started on IFC.
Oh,
Yeah, that.
okay.
So I'm watching in real time now.
Yeah, I really like the horror one. Obviously, I think that might be the first one where you've got
No.
the old lady and
Yeah. With
the guy who's staying in the house and
see, that
she's
was not. I
crazy and
didn't
it
like
turns.
that at all.
I liked it. I
No.
thought it was I thought it
And
was
then they
pretty
did
good
Device,
send
which I
up.
thought was okay, but the Blue
Advice.
Jean Committee
Oh
two-parter
my
was
god.
fucking
Yeah.
sublime.
Where they essentially do a documentary of a band that split up a long time ago
Uh,
and like they're talking with the two guys who were the head of it and like asking about their beef and just
and
like
you think you know how it's going to go, and you do, but the way
kinda.
they said it is like it's a Chicago blues band that
Mhm.
cynically turned to the California sound, and all the like it's got Chuck Klosterman waxing about how these guys perfectly captured what it feels like.
Yeah.
And
And it's
oh
like I think the Fred Armisen character wanted to stay true to what the band was, and the Bill Hader character just wanted to sell out and get rich, and he does, and he gets rich, and like,
yeah.
and then they come together at the end and try and hash it out. It's pretty good.
And then with the Bill Hader's being interviewed, and they're doing a thing where the guy's trying to turn humble, and like
Mhm.
it's like sometimes I look at what all I got, and think, do I deserve it, and all that, and it's like I just come away and I think, thank God I thought up this thing because I've got all this nice stuff and my life's awesome.
Right.
Like it's yeah, it's I can't recommend it's streaming. The first season's on Netflix in its entirety.
Yep.
It you won't I don't think it hooks you until you see one that's lampooning a documentary style that you've already seen and familiar with.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long it'll take you to watch that, but once you do, you'll immediately it like makes everything else retroactively better. And just how like fucking crazy they're allowed to get. It's insane.
Yeah, I think Fred Armisen's been on a roll
Between
lately.
yeah, like and I thought the last season or two of Portlandia has been a little disappointing, but maybe it's because he's put all his creative genius into this show because it's good.
Could be.
It's going to definitely make some noise in the bald move, the baldies.
Yeah. Will it beat Stranger Things?
Well, it'll be competing to comedy, which is
Yeah.
way easier. Although
Okay.
comedy's kind of a loaded category this year,
Is it?
especially if Rick and Morty get out.
Oh,
Season 3 of Rick and Morty beats.
I don't think that's gonna happen in the next couple months.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Maybe.
All right, so
Okay.
what do you
Hashtag
got?
bald lunch. Oh boy, this is gonna get political right off the bat. WC and me. Hashtag bald lunch. What are your thoughts on pro athletes refusing to stand for the national anthem as a form of protest? Does it even work?
Well,
I say, do what you're gonna do.
yeah, I mean, they have the absolute right to do that. And like
And I guess people have the right to call them out when they disagree with it, but
it's
whatever.
dumb.
I
Like
don't know
the
enough
thing is
about
like
the whole
it seems like
Kaepernick
so
situation.
I do because I've been paying attention to it,
Yeah.
and like there's it's the dumb part of the conversation everyone's having. It seems like it revolves around whether he should do it or not, and I'm like, that's just avoiding the argument that's really worth having, which is, do we live in a society where police unfairly police minority populations? That's it. Like,
Is that what it's about?
if you answer the question of that in the affirmative, then yes, standing up or refusing to show respect to the national anthem as a protest for the way the nation treats your fellow minorities is a noble thing. If you say the answer to that question is no, then he's just fucking being a jackass. So you listen to Bald Move. I'm pretty sure you know my opinion. So I think, yeah. Now, it's what I think is interesting is that there's a cynical angle to take in there too, which I thought was interesting. The fact that I never thought of Copernicus or
Copernicus.
Colin
That's his name.
Copernicus,
Yep. Kyle Copernicus.
Kyle Coppery Copernicus. Was that woke a dude? And also the fact that he was like being jeopardized of being demoted, I thought was there was a part of me that entertained the cynical notion that he was doing this so that he would kind of be unbenchable, that he could see it's like if his team decided to bench him or cut him because he wasn't a starting quarterback material, that he could be like, well, you're just doing this because it's a political hot potato and make hay with that.
Right.
But honestly, it seems like a lot of the other players that are unambiguously stars have kind of taken his lead. And I think that, yeah, like if you feel it's an issue, then regardless of what you feel about the flag or the America, or maybe because of what you feel about the flag in America, then what he's doing is a thing that all citizens have the right to do. And he also has to experience the consequences of those actions.
Sure, definitely, regardless of what
So
you
if the
think
core NFL
of
audience
America.
is, slightly racist white folk, or at least don't think about the issue, don't like to be confronted about the issue, then he's probably going to pay a penalty for that. So I don't know.
Right. Okay. Sure. I know far less about it than you do, apparently.
I mean, if you're a football fan, it's been that's the kind of, I think,
Really.
yeah, it's inescapable.
They just talking about it like every week.
Like even on fucking Sports Center, like
Okay.
like I've
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it because I'm annoyed. I'm just saying that like it's borderline annoying for me, and I like these talk about these issues. I can't even imagine if you're like a beer swilling, rah rah sports fan, that this brown fellow talking about his rights being impugned while he's driving Ferraris just must drive you up the fucking wall. You just want to get back to football, damn it.
Okay. Let's see. Josh says, "Have you guys ever seen Gattaca? And if so, do you think it'd make a good commissioned podcast?" Hashtag bald lunch. Uh,
I love Gattaca.
I remember liking Gattaca, but it's been 15 years since I've seen it.
That's one of the reasons it's so cool, because it was one of those formative, mind-blowing experiences I
Right.
had. Like when I remember, like, oh shit, the whole nature of protagonist and antagonist, and
Yeah.
like it not only was it cool science fiction, but like I hate Jude Law, except for he's kind of
Isn't that
a noble hero guy.
fresh-faced Ethan Hawke as well?
Yeah, fresh-faced Uma Thurman,
Right?
freshest
Yeah.
of faces.
All
I'd take
fresh
her saliva
faces.
sample. No, I think that's a great movie.
That'd be interesting.
Fuck
Yeah.
it, I'm gonna add it to community commissions.
All right.
Just got put on the list. Why not?
Go for it. Chat the Movies says, "Do you think the Blue Yonder versus Personal Arrogance War of 2010 helped propel Bald move towards success?" Hashtag Bald Lunch. No. No, I don't think so. I think what it did, I mean, the thing that helped propel us towards success was getting lucky on the timing of Breaking Bad, and
True.
starting a podcast about that, because ultimately we were not super successful with Blue Yonder. That show never became a real success.
I will say
that it was, like, from a relationship building perspective, definitely a success. Like, we're still friends with those guys today.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming out here in a couple weeks to hang out.
Right.
Like, I think it was an awesome thing that we did, and I'm glad we did it. But no, it didn't help build our success.
So I'm not even playing devil's advocate, because that would be like minimize their contributions to Bald Move. But I will say that gave us like emotional comfort and motivation, that not only were we, because we had a fairly small audience, but we had made this real connection that yielded tangible benefits. I don't know that we did Blue Yonder for 77 episodes that allowed us to still be doing podcasting when we had the idea to do television. So like, because imagine like if we'd gone through that and we were just voices talking in the dark, and we had one or two people sporadically sending us feedback, do we really stay engaged? Like hearing their responses and our responses, and the fact that we'd mention each other in each other's show and we got to know each other in real life, I feel like that.
We got to be careful here, because we might have a Joe and Gordon-esque situation with Eric. Eric might come back looking for his cut.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like 7 out of 10 T-shirts, certainly all the good ones, are Eric Walquist designs.
Yeah.
So including the one.
And I say that knowing that Eric is probably watching or listening to this.
No, like the one he did for the Rocket City NerdCon, like I can't wait for people to see that. That looks fantastic.
Spoiler alert, you maybe have seen part of it already somewhere in the Bald Move Empire.
Where?
Somewhere.
Okay. Did you get it tattooed on your ass?
I did, yeah.
It'd be awesome if you got me on one side
And
and
I've
you on
been
the other.
inserting subliminal messages
Yeah.
in this video.
Okay.
Just flashes of my ass with a big old tattoo on it.
Flashes up your ass.
Yep. Shat the Movies also asks us, do you guys still consider David Chin an enemy to the Bald Move Nation? Hashtag Bald Lunch. Of course.
We've always been at war with the Chinpire. What are you talking about? We will always be at war with the Chinpire.
That's why Bald Move started, to take down David Chin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we've done a hell of a job so far.
Yep.
Actually, no, we haven't. He's vastly more influential and popular than we are.
Is he?
Maybe not on like a specific show.
I mean, that's the thing. Like,
covers, but like,
so here's where I pivot from
career-wise. Fuck yeah, he is.
Okay, well,
he's writing for big websites that dwarf us.
I own my own media company.
Yeah, but he writes for massive websites.
I was the #1 podcast in iTunes.
So was he at some point.
That was he.
We're gonna have our lunch eaten by.
See, here's where our joke war turns into my like not so buried insanely competitive streak.
Oh no.
Where it's like I like David Chin and I don't wish him well, but I
wait.
I don't wish him poorly.
Okay.
I like David Chin. I don't wish him harm. I wish him have a great and I think we scared him because we actually wanted to kind of flip the script on him like we did the Personal Arrogance guys and like sit down and have a drink with him at Seattle. And I think he was kind of scared of us.
You think so?
Because
like we were gonna corner him and ask him a bunch of questions and get him on the
I
record.
don't think he got our fake aggression.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard, but he does seem like a guy who's very literal. He seems like a very literal dude, and he might have been scared, intimidated by all that. We did get him to read for like the low price of $200. He
did a Kickstarter that we chipped in on and got him to do an ad read for Bald Move.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
But now we talked about him for 10 minutes, so to choose the joke on.
Right.
But I am insanely competitive. Like I like winning, obviously, and I like having better statistics than the other. But that's like it's a friendly competition. Like I'm not an asshole about it. So like it's funny because like I don't. But then if you imply that David Chin's more successful than me, I start like, what? Fuck you. How are we keeping score? What does success even mean? You know?
Right.
So yeah. But no, David, if you're
listening, from a certain point of view,
Dave, if you're listening, you're a cool guy. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right.
You've got a real gift for cinematography, I think.
There's no way he's listening.
Yeah, probably not.
Got better things to do.
What'll happen is someone will tweet an out of context thing like I wish him poor, I wish him bad, and he'll be like, oh, fucking Bald Move guys are at it again.
Ryan Lindsay asking why the heck didn't The Leftovers get any Emmy love?
Because the Emmys is a intellectually bankrupt institution that doesn't matter. It matters in the sense that like I was glad to see.
Wow, just swinging for the fences.
I've been pussyfooting around this, and I think that the Emmys are a bunch of bullshit. But number one, I do think they're not total bullshit because Rami Malek getting an award for Best Actor and Mr. Robot will be unquestionably good for Mr. Robot.
Sure.
So it can definitely shine light on your favorite shows, but whether your favorite shows deserve it, earn it, are worthy, got nominated, that stuff has no logical or subjective basis that I can tell. Because I feel like
the Emmy should just be a People's Choice category in another award show, right?
It was conceived in the era where all television was episodic, and you could judge the merits of an entire season by one splashy
the process itself.
Yeah, right? One splashy character performance, and that's the best television doesn't work that way. Sure. It just doesn't. So,
yeah, you're right. So
before you go to the next one, I'm gonna.
Anna Duarte wants to know if we watched them, and I did not.
I got on. I meant to. I taped it. I was going to speed, but no, because I just don't like. I still love I like the Oscars, but no, I didn't.
I still do like the idea that a live watch of one of these award shows would be fun.
I would like to do a live watch of the Oscars, especially if I can get you to watch a couple of the Oscar nominated films, so you get some skin in the game.
Probably. By the end of our Bald Movies first run shit this year, I will have seen them.
You like Sully's going to be nominated for sure. And so, but before we get to the next one, I want to shout out a little fan creation because we don't do this enough. Because it happens infrequently enough that it's not like a routine. But I want to make it more frequent because I like getting gifts. Angie K sent us these little. She saw us drinking on the podcast, shockingly, and she knitted us these little beverage koozie things, and she tried to match our microphone colors. And Joke's on her because our color correction made Jim's mic look yellow up until we took Damon down. But she says, "Hey guys, thanks for making great podcasts. I've been watching the lunch pods, and you made these coasters for your studio. They are kind of homey, but they also absorb moisture really well, and you can wash them. 100% cotton, washed with darker colors. You can wash them with your jeans. Keep up the great podcast."
Oh, they're made of sterner stuff than I would have guessed.
Yeah, no, they're definitely like you can really. What's funny about these is these remind. Do you remember the sisters back when we were witnesses used to carry little scarves around in their purses in case they had to pray in front of a man?
Right.
They'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm praying in front of a man, and I'm inferior because I don't have a penis, so I'm going to do this to my head and pray
Quite obviously,
because that's showing respect for God. God, you know,
God doesn't give a shit.
and if they were caught unawares, you would see them do this move, which is a Kleenex.
Yep.
Because the Kleenex shows.
I mean, how far can you take that idea? Can you just like do this?
Can you put a twig, because that's essentially paper, a head cover? So you'd see a sister was unprepared because she didn't have Angie knitting one of these things. She'd show up with a Kleenex on her head. That's not cool. And the other thing that I thought was interesting.
You're right. There is nothing cool about that.
The other thing I thought was interesting was when I made the transition from a mere boy who could be instructed by a woman. And like that, like between 12 and 13, I saw like sisters like in the car groups, they would play the game of like,
is he old enough to
does he have hair on his balls? If he has hair on his balls, I should certainly cover my head. But he's still got a squeaky voice. Maybe no, I know they were.
That can't be true.
I'm amping up the contrast and making it sexual because that's funny. Apparently,
they couldn't look at your face and just judge by that.
Not when I was 12.
Does he have to shave?
I didn't have all this when I was 12.
No, not that.
But did you realize that? Like when did you notice when you started getting the deferential treatment because you had the penis? Did you? Was that weird? Because I remember realizing that happening and being weirded out by it.
I guess I never realized when that was happening. There were definitely like 1 or 2 times where I had to lead the group in prayer or whatever before a fucking jaunt out in the field.
Like, come on, can you just put the scarf on? I know everyone knows I'm not qualified. Right. Put on the scarf, we'll fake it.
It was the worst because I don't like public speaking all that much, which you might not know, given that I do it for a fucking living now. Well, it's not directly public. And 2, I didn't believe the shit that they were having me do, so I felt doubly awkward. I don't know. It was always the worst. I hated it. I hated going in field service, because I didn't like talking to people.
Especially talking about shit you don't believe in.
Right, and that's the other thing. Like
it's like selling steak knives and you don't get paid for it.
It's like selling dull steak knives, and you don't get paid for it. It's like Frank Reynolds out there in the field.
What's everlasting life worth for you, Jim?
True everlasting life, or the false hope of everlasting life?
Oh, now see, you're asking uncomfortable questions.
Yeah, because true everlasting life
need some counseling, brother.
That's where quite a bit.
But thank you, Angie. This is going to be sweet because we don't have enough coasters for 2 rooms worth of coasting, so now we do.
All right.
Plus, I can lead a group in prayer, even if I don't have a penis.
Matthew Nimeth, #bald lunch. How much of 24 have you guys seen, and what do you think?
24.
The show 24.
Is there a new one that's come out? Because I know they've been talking about.
How much did you see of the original? And then we both saw the newest season.
I know I saw through season 4. I want to say I started season 5 and like, no, fuck this. And then there was 6th season. I know I didn't see that.
I saw like 3 seasons.
So, because I will defend, I think the first 3 seasons are pretty incredible, especially for their time.
Yeah,
and in the climate that the country that
they
were made.
It was a different time, different place.
Very bro force.
Yeah.
Surprised there's not a Kiefer Brotherland. Or I don't know. I'm still unlocking bros. Like I can't believe I've unlocked like 30 fucking bros.
Keith Bro.
Bro Dread. He's my favorite.
Bro Dread.
Not only does he have a gun that automatically, he's got a cool outfit. Not only does he have a gun that seeks all enemies within a certain range, but he also can launch a missile that you can then steer like original Metal Gear style around the level and do massive damage. It's so satisfying.
Matthew also asked, what games are you guys playing right now?
Broforce, Destiny mostly.
I've been playing 0 games. When I get a chance, I play Rocket League. but that's about it.
This is my tonight. I'm kind of trying to do day one raid because the raid just got unlocked.
Nice.
Right now, like 30 minutes ago.
Are you gonna stream it?
Nah, too much. No,
Already you quit.
No, I'm not. No, I'm still doing the trial stuff. This is the raid. This is the PVE stuff. And there's already there's going to be 1,000 people streaming that, and it's going to be probably Slayer or Gothalion or something. It's going to be the world's first.
Gothalion,
And
he's my favorite.
do you know him?
She's my favorite. I don't.
Oh, because he's like a streamer of note, but he's not famous through Destiny. He just plays Destiny a lot.
Gothlion. I know about Northern Lion. What's with the streamers and lions?
Oh.
Is there something online
It actually
about
could
a
be.
lion
I heard
about?
someone pronounce it Gothilion too. It might be like some kind of Greek thing. But me and pronunciating words.
He also asks, what do you guys mainly use for recording audio? We have a Focusrite Sapphire
18i8
something. Yeah. I8 18i8. Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
And it's the bee's knees, man. I thought our Behringer was
Not
awesome.
Sapphire, Scarlet.
I thought our Behringer was awesome, but the noise levels of this cannot be compared.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't have built-in compression. We actually got a separate compressor that we're still not using.
Yeah, when we move over to the new studio and we're fucking with lights and stuff, we're gonna
try to get the stuff dialed in. So
Get that
watch
going.
out. We're bringing 4K audio.
Yep.
Whether
and then that goes into
whether your headphones will support it or not.
that just goes into a computer that we have Adobe Audition running on.
Yeah, that's our digital DAW, our digital audio workstation is Adobe Audition.
And these are dynamic microphones. Crucially, these are dynamic Shure SM48s.
No, these are 58s. We got the high end.
No.
Yeah.
I thought we were rocking 48s the entire time.
Well, we got a travel rig. They're 48s.
I might be rocking the 48.
This is a 58.
You're right, Eric. I was wrong the other day when I told you they were 48s. Yes, they're 58s.
But I
they're
can't
rock
tell.
solid.
I can't tell the difference between 48 and 58s.
Right, but crucially, they're dynamic, which means they don't pick up a lot of background noise. They're not as sensitive. And if you are a first-time podcaster or thinking about getting into podcasting, God damn it, do not buy a compressor microphone.
No,
do not do
condenser.
Right, condenser microphone.
Compressor microphones are trash too, but the condensers.
The condensers, everybody recommends like the snowballs or the Yetis, and they're shit for new people.
They're excellent microphones. They're so much better than the environment you're going to record them in.
They're shit for new people because you don't know how to use them, and you can't get the isolation you need on those things. So go with dynamic every time for new podcasters.
Yeah, and the other thing is the Yetis are fucking fragile as shit, whereas I could take this off its arm and beat Jim to death with it. And then record a podcast without even washing it. Yeah, like while I'm beating you to death, and it would not, like, these things are indestructible.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I'm gonna skip that one because it's spoilery.
Ooh.
Eric Walquist. I don't know who this guy is, but he's asking, buy packs in 3 weeks. I need to go to Jungle Gyms while we're in Cincinnati. He stresses need. We can make that happen.
There was a time where I might have been moving, but I still live right next to her place. I guarantee you will get to Jungle Gyms because I want you and Jesse to experience it.
Yeah. It's pretty stellar. He asks, please describe what I will witness. #bald lunch.
The thing is like what we really need to do is take them
glorious wonderland of shopping, of grocery shopping.
Because like if you want to be wowed by alcohol choices, we need to take them to the party source,
right?
Which we ought to.
Slim pickings at the state liquor store at Jungle Gyms.
But they have a decent beer selection, especially probably like you're going to be exposed to a lot of Midwestern and Eastern brews that you're not familiar with. But
their wine selection is real strong too.
But also any food that you can think of from around the world, they will have it. They'll probably have it fresh. They might even have it living. They might have it alive.
That's the key to Jungle Gyms, is the stuff that other grocery stores do not carry.
They're like
international stuff.
Yeah, like you imagine an Asian food market. And also like a Mexican food market, and like
and Italian and Greek and Malaysian and just like Russian, everything
Ethiopian,
you can think of.
like everywhere. And it's all it's like 5 Walmarts full of this. I don't know how. I honestly don't understand their business model. It shouldn't work
because they have all this fresh produce that they can't sell through. It must just go bad by the bushel
load. A Walmart supersized just produce department.
Yeah. It's crazy, and it's all fresh and it's all exotic. I mean, they have the staples, but they have just a shitload of exotic stuff.
There's a mundane grocery store that's the size of any grocery store you've ever seen shoved in the middle of this fucking thing. And then they
And then
have
they
that
have a Whole
as
Foods inside.
they have that as
there,
an
and
organic. On the other side, there's the same goddamn supermarket that's all organic. Like you said, a Whole Foods
they
shoved
have
up in there too.
they have an entire, I don't know, small boutique grocery store worth of cheese
Yeah.
from around the world and meats.
They have a CVS sized section for hot sauces.
Right? I forgot about their hot sauce section.
Like that shit that you read about, like the 16 million Scoville rate. They have that stuff in the glass case that you have to like, you know, insert 2 keys and have a presidential authorization to get into.
And all of this is like under this bizarre shroud of like creepy talking jungle animals that like are supposed to appeal to children, but are kind of perverted and creepy in their own right.
And he's got like all this like weird bric-a-brac Americana, like
Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, imagine like, you know, those
things
like those displays that stores sometimes get, like an R2D2 or C3PO or a Peyton Manning, and you know, they got this they like everything from around the country he's bought and then putting up everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, for kids.
Yeah.
So
it's
a
glorious wonderland for both children and adults.
It really is. The first time I went in there, I spent $250 some on food.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was considerably more well-heeled than I am now.
How like frozen stuff?
No,
how do you spend that much on food you'll eat before it goes bad?
There's a lot of like cheeses and meats and weird like pastas and Asian candy and also beer and alcohol. That was a lot of the, you know, $250 too. But it's just like, you know, it's a 3-hour trip and it was just amazing. So yeah. Jungle Gym's awesome.
You can get lost in there.
If you're ever in Cincinnati and you're a foodie or an alcoholic, you should check it
out. Walquist also asks, our Fincher run is ending. What director do you think we should cover next on Direct? We've done Tarantino, Edgar Wright, Del Toro, #BaldLunch.
I'd be interested in Kubrick because there's a lot of his early work that I'm unfamiliar with, and I would definitely watch along.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one.
Schumacher.
David Lynch.
Did they do Paul Thomas? Yeah, they did Paul Thomas Anderson, didn't they?
I don't think so.
Maybe they didn't. I thought I saw. Maybe I'm confused because we got There Will Be Blood coming up really soon.
Right.
I don't know. Paul Thomas Anderson or Wes Anderson would be interesting.
Do somebody less renowned for their cerebral directing style. Although I guess Edgar Wright isn't that cerebral.
Right.
He's more just slick.
Yeah.
Which I love. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Do Michael Moore.
Go documentary. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do Morgan Spurlock.
You go to the documentary wheelhouse. No, I think Kubrick, like the one that I'm most interested in would be like a Kubrick.
What about a Hitchcock? You think Hitchcock would be interesting?
See,
because that goes back to the roots of cinema.
Or Orson Welles,
right?
Yeah, like something that's like one of those like old timey guys, a Cecil B. DeMille or something like where I just generally don't know a lot about them, but you know they're because I was reading, you know, I found it hard to sleep last night. I was reading about the seven samurai.
Yeah,
and like
Kurosawa, he's got a lot of
that
really
would be interesting because
stuff.
Here's the thing, like I was reading this article by Ebert where he was saying like the Seven Samurai is the first instance of like a team being assembled for a mission. Like he invented that.
Really?
He invented that fucking concept. It's the first example of the main hero being introduced on a mission that has no relation to the main plot.
Okay.
It's because in this, the samurai saves a small child from a bandit, and it has nothing to do with the village that they later save. Like, there's like, he is inventing storytelling techniques that people are using to assemble franchises now, and like that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, but it's also dry, and I don't like academic, and I don't know how successful it'd be. So,
do
Spielberg?
Holy
yeah, that's
shit.
the thing you'd never finish. You would never.
You'd be doing
finish.
That for the next 9 years.
Yeah,
because he's making movies faster than you can cover his movies.
Yeah, it'd also be interesting. Like, who's the guy that did the Deer Hunter? because then like he did that one thing
Uh,
that people regard as like a genius work, and then he did a whole bunch of like Kingdom of Heaven or Heaven's Gates or Ishtar. I'm not sure exactly where he
I
went
don't remember.
wrong, but that would be interesting. Like look at a one hit wonder that then fell to disgrace.
Hmm.
M. Night Shyamalan
Right?
would be interesting.
He should just start streaming as Shyamalan.
Shyamalan,
He
yeah,
starts
sure.
streaming coverage of
Gotham Lion,
his
Shyamalan,
own
Northern
movies.
Lion. Then they form into some kind of fucked up Voltron.
That's just
Is
named Lion.
Shyamalan the chest and the head, or is he the foot?
I think he's the ass.
Depends.
Well, it
Depends.
depends. Yeah, what era?
Sixth Sense, he's the head.
Right, easily.
Um,
He's the heart.
the Happening, he's the ass.
He's the stomach.
Can I do some forum stuff now?
Real hungry. Yeah, let's do it.
Fern from NYC said, Jim and Aaron, being this is the last show at the current Bald Move Studios, can you guys share any funny stories or little known facts about the studio or Jim's apartment? Any monumental events that occur or funny moments? Can't wait to see the new Bald Move.
Have we ever talked about this wall?
Probably not.
We should talk about this wall, and I can pull up a picture of it maybe.
Okay. Yeah, so this wall that studio in, much like the plot of last night's American Horror Story, featured a word printed on it. Was it Redbird?
It's like Jaybird or T-Bird?
T-Bird. Yeah, it's T-Bird. Had someone spray painted this wall, T-Bird, and it had already been covered over God knows how many times by a primer before we moved in, but you could still clearly see it.
Yeah.
And
so we were like, well, fuck it. Let's just paint right over it. You know,
three coats later, it's still bleeding through. I think a fourth coat, maybe even fifth, because at that we did, it was a lot of coats.
I bet if you move this cabinet, you could still see it.
Yeah, I'll try. We'll get our good cameras out and try to get it and see if we can make T-Bird appear. But I couldn't believe how much that bled through.
Yeah, it was insane. We thought at one point that this place was possessed. Not legitimately, obviously. We joked about it.
We used to,
because we just couldn't get rid of that.
We used to shut the door because we were so used to our old mics picking up all noises that we were trying to isolate this studio acoustically. It turns out we didn't have to, because the toilet can flush, the refrigerator can run, the air conditioner can kick on, fucking the lawnmower man can ram our building and no one can hear it. It's awesome. Yeah. But that summer we were doing that, got the ventilation with us and the equipment and the lights, it would get so swamp ass in here. Mm-hmm. So like we would like literally as soon as the thing was over, we'd shut off the cameras and like open the door and gasp like, oh my God, I can't believe.
Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, I still sweat sitting in the studio sometimes.
Yeah.
Depending on how many podcasts we've done.
Right.
Or how vigorously we've podcasted.
I got a fan. I got a high volume, low speed fan that pretty much solved all my problems. And I'll probably take it to the studio with me too.
Yeah, I think it'll be even better in the studio, the ventilation.
I hope.
Because we've got like the overhead full office ventilation.
Big full.
We talked about this
FOV
window, right? How we covered it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that they're like if you missed it, I was talking to a little old lady that lives in the apartment complex at the pool. Jim's apartment overlooks the pool. Mm-hmm. And these old ladies all started talking about Jim's apartment and the fact that he's got this window papered over and how shady as shit that is. And they speculated that he was cooking meth up here.
Right, because it's all yellowing too. So
it's starting to like the chemicals.
Oh, maybe the chemicals are getting in there, and yeah, who knows what shady shit I'm up to.
Hilarious. I like that was that was super funny when that happened.
That's pretty awesome. I've really enjoyed like our shelves filling in.
Yeah.
Over the course of these 2.5 years.
Just living and people sending us stuff. We slowly accumulate stuff. Yep. I mean, this studio never got used the way I thought it would. Like I thought like we would be shifting camera angles and all kinds of stuff. And turns out that's hard to do when there's only two guys running the show.
Yeah. And they're both engaged in the actual recording.
Yeah, I left it on you or me for 15 minutes one time too many, and like nope, just get this view, because there's a lot of cool views like that we could take advantage of, you know. Like the main thing was we thought we'd have an angle that would like get like you get to see all this cool stuff,
right?
Like we stocked this full liquor cabinet and all these cool prints and artwork just so we could have something like this to show. Never that gets seen so rarely. So that's kind of a bummer. Honestly, most of the funny stuff that happens in Jim's apartment now that involves me get captured on film or podcast.
Yeah.
Because The times we've hung out, you always come for some reason. Because we actually have seating for everybody.
Right.
You only have 2 seats, so
You sit on dining room chairs, but those are no
yeah,
good.
you always came over to my house to hang out, play video games, or watch TV or whatever.
Yeah.
So we did very little hanging over here other than Bald Move stuff.
Right.
Try to think, is there any other? Like, there's nothing like, oh, the toilet overflowed, or oh, Jim, like the broccoli fart day was pretty bad. You ate like a pound of broccoli and came in here and shut the door and fucking blew it out the whole time.
I don't remember that happening, but
You
maybe
don't
it did.
remember when you first started moving in here and you started buying those 2-pound bags of broccoli and just eating raw broccoli?
Are you fucking with me? No, I
No,
don't
dude,
remember
no. God, and the broccoli farts
Huh.
were real.
Broccoli farts are real, people. They're real. Well, that's not going to get any better at the studio. I'm going to fill our mini fridge with broccoli.
farts? All right.
Well,
all right.
I'm not going to fill the fridge with broccoli farts.
You feel just keep them fresher.
Yeah, just swing that
Stay
door
after
open.
hours, fill it up, and then come 9:30 in the morning, crack it open.
I mean, what smells worse, cold or hot? I mean, if anything, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get like
true.
a convection oven,
Yeah, definitely.
like a toaster oven, and
Yep.
fill that up.
Yep. Turn your farts to plasma
Yeah,
and unleash it. Find a new state of matter.
I want to make them visible. I'm gonna try and
Ooh.
make
They're
actually visible farts.
The fart molecules get so hot they incandesce.
Yeah.
It's just like it looks like an ascended being from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah. So there you go. There's some amusing anecdotes for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't know. We have a whiteboard that's useless.
Yeah. When it's needed, it's definitely. We're hanging it up in the new space, right?
Sure,
Okay.
but I mean, we just don't use it very often.
Well, I mean, it comes in handy when we have a new routine that we're trying to game plan, or when we're super tightly scheduled. But yeah, we just gotten so good at it that we don't need a lot of that external control anymore.
Right.
It's a routine.
I've got a lot of like pictures and video and stuff of us constructing this studio that I should probably release. Some people might like to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll release it around the time we set up the new studio a couple weeks from now or something.
Let's see. Wondered Object from Chico, California says, one question for you guys this week, and it stems from the Mr. Robot episode last week. Elliot performed a mantra before going to sleep. Okay, so he's asking, like, so you know what he's talking about. I'm going to save the spoilers for people that might come back and watch Mr. Robot. He says, have you guys ever done something like this or would consider it? To possibly remember a dream or something, or do you always remember your dreams? For me personally, I've read enough about night terrors. I do not enjoy remembering anything.
Yup. I'm terrified of night terrors. That sounds like the worst shit in the world.
I don't remember
getting stuck in a horrifying dream you can't wake up from and can't move during.
Sure. I've never had that happen.
Me either.
I remember on average 2 or 3 dreams a year. Like, I know I dream more. I'm not saying that I don't dream. I know I do, but I just do not remember them.
I don't ever remember my dreams.
I do lucid dream during the mornings quite a bit because Cecily she's gotten this routine she's kept going for like 6 months now, where she gets up like 6 in the morning and goes to work out and then comes back, takes a shower, and that like interruption of my sleep at a REM stage a lot of times gets me lucid. Like if she interrupts a dream and I'm aware that I'm dreaming, I'll go back to sleep and I can kind of control it, which is cool. But I
don't want to dabble with forces I don't understand. It's too much.
You don't want to dose your brain with.
Yeah, I don't want to drive myself insane. That's not where I want to be. I mean, Bald Move will do that in its own time. I don't have to speed the process.
In the fullness of time.
Yeah.
Angie, the person that knitted us these dealios, said, you guys are building a set? Tell us more. I mean, there's not much to tell.
Like
it's going to be.
Should we go back to the.
Oh, yeah.
The regular view?
Yeah. The mono. So it's not much more to tell, man. We're banging up.
What happened? We're not recording this? I'm going to have to get the audio from.
All right.
God damn it.
When did that actually happen?
31 minutes in, I guess. Damn. I have no idea why, though.
Damn. So what was I saying? Oh,
shut this shit down.
There's not much more to say. Like, we're literally going to build false walls out of 2x4 and like sheetrock or something, and they're going to assemble in such a way that they can quickly be in like 4x8 panels that can quickly be unassembled. But they're going to be probably this same orange color, and they're going to have the same stuff hanging on them, and like it's literally going to be just so we can never have to paint walls again, and we don't have to destroy, like if we move in their commercial real estate, we don't have to fucking drill holes in walls and stuff to mount the stuff we need to mount. So
Right.
like I definitely will probably take pictures of it and show you what it looks like. But if it's done right, it'll just look like a 4-inch projection of the office wall that is the Bald Move Studio colors.
Mm-hmm.
So Michelle wants to know if the house hunting is going well, and I am here to say that it is not. We are right now in a dry spell where just the houses that we want are not in the right location, and the houses in the right location are not what we want. So it's been, house hunting is a lot like trying to have a kid. Or at least my experience with trying to have a kid, where it just gets wearing on you the longer it takes for it to happen. Like you're trying to have a baby and it's fun, and you're trying to have a baby and it's work, and then you're trying to have a baby and it's like, oh, scary, can we do this thing? And we vacillate that in the house hunt. Like, Jesus, are we ever going to find a house that meets all the
then you get one and it never lives up to your expectations.
Sure, you got that. Yep. Yep.
I don't have any experience with that.
And she wants to have you decide on your theme for this year's haunted Halloween house. I don't know if we're doing it this year. My future mother-in-law got rid of her event space.
Oh,
yeah, just I don't know if you knew that, but Cecily's mom had double breast cancer and a really aggressive late stage type that she had, like, double mastectomy and tons of chemotherapy and radiation treatment and lost all, I mean, like the whole gamut. And it was a huge distraction for us last year. And it's hard to maintain a business when that shit's going on.
It's hard to maintain a business when it's not going on, let alone
right. So they felt like she had to close up the shop, and I don't know if she'll get back into it in the future, because she's still, she's in full, like, she's been in remission for like the last 6 months. But yeah, I it'd be awesome if we got to do it, because that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know.
We'll have a studio.
We'll invite some small children up to our studio.
Yep.
Come on, kids. The shit out of them. Got candy for you. So there you go.
How is that any different than inviting them to a building in the middle of nowhere? Telling them we got candy for you.
That was a big, like, this was a historic, like, it used to be a fire department, is in the middle of the nice part of Anderson, and like with sidewalks, and like
sure.
it was a place where you would not think like this is a scary place to take children. This is like a place where you should take children.
I don't feel like an office building is a scary place either, but what do I know? What do I know? Maybe it is for kids.
It's not as homey in small town.
Maybe it reminds them of a future full of work that they're going to.
That's that's what the horror show should be. Just adults chained to desks, looking miserable with smudges under their eyes and stacks of bills, and
you dress each adult like one of the kids.
Yeah.
And you put a name plaque on the desk with their name on it.
Oh yeah, this
really
is you,
Timmy.
Timmy.
The shit out
this is you, Timmy, the ghost of Timmy future. You want to be an astronaut or fireman? You're gonna be a desk jockey.
Yep.
Enjoy your 5 days of vacation a year. So yeah, that's all the forum stuff I got.
Let's do one more.
I should do one last refresh too.
Hashtag bald lunch. Eric says that Jungle Jim's replied to his tweet.
What? Really? What did he reply?
With a link that says this should give you a pretty good idea of what to expect in Jungle Gyms, although words can't really do it justice. And a link to somewhere. Link to... Oh my God! A link to a guy with a giant stein wearing steampunk...
How do they know to customize the ad to Eric? That's what I want to know.
No kidding.
Steampunk? Come on. Is he drinking Starbucks coffee too?
Yeah, look at this guy.
Huh. Yeah.
I suppose that's something.
That's the thing. So I want to go to Oktoberfest last weekend so bad, because I hear that's such a big thing in Cincinnati.
And it got my girlfriend wants to go to a Ren Fair. Are you
the big one that's up like in...
I don't know.
Yes, we've been like 3 years running. We've been wanting to go.
All right.
Like, it's one of those Ren Fairs that lasts like 2 weeks. Hell yeah.
She bought like
the people watching.
a thing you wear to go to Ren Fair. I don't fucking know what they're called.
Is it the
It's got
fucking corsets? She got her corset
no, I
because that's
don't.
what 99% of the girls wear at Renfest.
Right.
Corsets and
No,
pirate
she got
skirts.
something with a pattern, a purple and red plaid pattern type thing. I don't
A
fucking know,
kilt,
man. No, it's not a kilt. Women don't wear kilts
a
there, do they?
gorget,
Wow. I,
a
I'm
hauberk,
I'm about to
a
gorge it.
hauberk,
I'm about to gorge it on my
the
burrito.
gauntlet.
So
Okay, so
no,
yeah,
but yeah, let's meet up and do that. Sounds
yeah.
like fun.
Which weekend?
I have no idea.
Because I could. That's the one I'd take my kid to, or I could go child free, whatever.
Right.
All right. So thanks for another bald
The
lunch.
final bald
The
lunch in this
final
studio.
final this studio bald lunch. We'll have an official, a real studio the next time you see us, which will be not next week, but the week after.
Mm-hmm.
And the lunch is now petering out.
Bye.
We're going to Burrito Town.